Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare,
Rama Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare, Rama,
Ram,
Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama, Hare
Ram
Rama, Rama
Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare, Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare, Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram,
Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mata's Dandal Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining. Let us begin with our Mangalacharna prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let me share. Yeah, we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 10, branches, right? Different branches of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are all associates. Different branches means each branch representing one personality of who is associating, who is helping Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for spreading the congregational chanting of the holy names through the entire world. Let me share. My screen is not with. Yeah. Okay, Lavanya, you are in hearing mode. Okay. Yes. The trunk, branches, and sub branches of the Chaitanya tree. So we are at 54 verse. Yes. Let us begin with Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji. Adiva Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavana. Translation. Shivananda Sena, the 24th branch of the tree, was an extremely confidential servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everyone who went to Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya took shelter and guidance from Sri Shivananda Sena. Every year he took a party of devotees from Jagannath Puri to visit Lord Chaitanya. He maintained the entire party as they journeyed on the road.
Yeah, read Mataji.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestows his causeless mercy upon his devotees in three features: his own direct appearance, Sakshat, his prowess within someone he empowers, Avesha, and his manifestation, Avirbhava. Purport. The Sakshat feature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is his personal presence. Avesha refers to invested power, like that invested in Nakula Brahmachari. Avirbhava is a manifestation of the Lord. It appears even though he is personally not present. For example, Sri Shachi Mata offered food at home to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he was far away in Jagannath Puri. And when she opened her eyes after offering the food, she saw that it had actually been eaten by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, when Sri Srivas Thakura performed Sankirtana, everyone felt the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even in his absence. This is another example of Avirbhava. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Manifestation, Avesh, empowering. Yeah. Samyukta Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation. The appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in every devotee's presence is called Sakshat. His appearance in Nakula Brahmachari as a symptom of special prowess is an example of Avesha. The former Pradyumna Brahmachari was given the name Nrsimhananda Brahmachari by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
Yes. Translation. In his body, there were symptoms of Avirbhava. Such appearances are uncommon, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed many such pastimes through his different features. Purport. In the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 73 to 74, it is said that Nakula Brahmachari displayed the prowess Avesha and Pradyumna Brahmachari the appearance Avirbhava of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many hundreds and thousands of devotees of Lord Chaitanya, among whom there are no special symptoms. But when a devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu functions with specific prowess, he displays the feature called Avesha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally spread the Sankirtana movement, and he advised all the inhabitants of Bharatavarsha to take up his skirt and preach it all over the world. The visible bodily symptoms of devotees who follow such instructions are called Avesha. Srila Sivananda Sena observed such Avesha symptoms in Nakula Brahmachari, who displayed symptoms exactly like those of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Chaitanya Charitamrita states that in the age of Kali, the only spiritual function is to broadcast the holy name of the Lord. But this function can be performed only by one who is actually empowered by Lord Krishna. The process by which a devotee is thus empowered is called Avesha, or sometimes it is called Shakti Avesha. Yes, Prabhuji. Pradyumna Brahmachari was formerly a resident of a village known as Priyari Ganja in Khalna. There is a description of him in the Antya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, 2nd chapter, and in the Antya Kanta of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, chapters 3 and 9. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mata. Yeah. Shaktyavesha avataras, empowerment through acharyas, through the acharyas instructions, through acharyas message, through acharyas teachings. Yeah. Sandhya Mata, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Shivananda Sena experienced the three features of Sakshat, Avesha, Avirbhava. Later, I shall vividly describe this transcendentally blissful subject. Purport: Srila Shivananda Sena has been described by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaja as follows. Shivananda Sena was a resident of Kumarahatta, which is also known as Halisahara, and was a great devotee of the Lord. About 1.5 miles from Kumarahatta is another village known as Kanchadapada, in which there are Gaura Gopala deities installed by Shivananda Sena, who also established a temple of Krishna Raya that is still existing. Shivananda Sena was the father of Paramananda Sena, was also known as Puri Dasa or Kavi Karnapura. Paramananda Sena wrote in his Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 176 that two of the gopis of Vrindavana, whose former names were Meera and Dhuti, combined to become his father. Srila Shivananda Sena guided all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya who went from Bengal to Jagannath Puri, and he personally bore all the expenses for their journey. This is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 16, verses 19 to 27. Srila Shivananda Sena had three sons named Chaitanya Dasa, Ramadasa, and Paramananda. As mentioned above, this last son later became Kavi Karnapura and wrote the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika. The spiritual master was Srinatha Pandita, who was Shivananda Sena's priest. Due to Vasudeva Datta's lavish spending, Shivananda Sena was engaged to supervise his expenditures. Sri Shivananda Sena actually experienced Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's features of Sakshat, Avesha, and Avirbhava. He once took along a dog while on his way to Jagannath Puri, and it is described in the Antya Leela first chapter that this dog later attained salvation by his association. When Srila Raghunatha Dasa, who later became Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, fled his paternal home to join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his father wrote a letter to Shivananda Sena to get information about him. Shivananda Sena supplied him the details for which he asked, and later Raghunatha Dasa Goswami's father sent some servants and money to Shivananda Sena to take care of Raghunatha Dasa Goswami. Once Sri Shivananda Sena invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home and fed him so sumptuously that the Lord felt indigestion and was somewhat sick. This became known to Shivananda Sena's eldest son Chaitanya Dasa, who gave the Lord the kinds of food that would help his digestion, and thus Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased. This is described in Antya Leela 10th chapter, verses 142 through 151. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Give it to that's Mother. Thank you, Mother.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. Chandravel Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Once while going to Jagannath Puri, all the devotees had to stay underneath a tree without the shelter of a house or even a shed, and Nityananda Prabhu became very angry. And if he were greatly disturbed by hunger, thus he cursed Shivananda's sons to die. Shivananda's wife was very much aggrieved at this, and she began to cry. She very seriously thought that since her sons had been cursed by Nityananda Prabhu, certainly they would die. When Shivananda later returned and saw his wife crying, he said, "Why are you crying? Let us all die if Sri Nityananda Prabhu desires." When Sivananda Sena returned and Sri Nityananda Prabhu saw him, the Lord kicked him severely, complaining that he was very hungry and asked why he had not arranged for his food. Such the behavior of Lord with his devotees. Sri Nityananda Prabhu behaved like an ordinary hungry man, as if completely dependent on the arrangements of the Sivananda Sena. A nephew of Sivananda Sena's named Srikanta left the company in protest of Nityananda Prabhu's curse and went directly to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri, where the Lord pacified him. On that occasion, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed his toe to be sucked by Puridasa, who was then a child. It is by the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he could immediately compose Sankirtan verses during the Sanskrit verses. During the misunderstanding with Sivananda's family, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered his personal attendant, Govinda, to give them all the remnants of his food. This is described in the Antya Leela, chapter 12, verse 53. Hare Krishna.
హరే కృష్ణ. థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభుజీ.
Hare Krishna.
సంకీర్తన వర్స్ అంటే ఒకటే వర్స్ ప్రభు, హరే కృష్ణ మహామంత్రం. జస్ట్
Okay.
సంకీర్తన వర్స్ ఆల్సో మంత్ర సంకీర్తన్. ఎస్, సంస్కృత వర్స్. ఇట్స్ ఓకే. యా మన లలిత్ మోహన్ రావు, ప్లీజ్ రీడ్.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. The sons, servants, and family members of Sivananda Sena constitute a sub-branch. They were all sincere servants of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Translation. The three sons of Sivananda Sena, named Chaitanya Dasa, Ramadasa, and Karnapura, were all heroic devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Purport. May His Divine Grace Chaitanya Dasa, the eldest son of Sivananda Sena, wrote a commentary on Krishna Karnamrita. That was later translated by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his paper Sajjana Toshani. According to the expert opinion, Chaitanya Dasa was the author of the book Chaitanya Charita, also known as Chaitanya Charitamrita, which was written in Sanskrit. The author was not Kavi Karnapura, as is generally supposed. This is the opinion of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Shri Ramadasa was the second son of Shivananda Sena. It is stated in Gaura Ganodisha Deepika 145 that the two famous parrots named Daksha and Vichakshana in Krishna Lila became the elder brothers of Kavi Karnapura, namely Chaitanya Dasa and Ramadasa. Karnapura, the third son, who was also known as Paramananda Dasa or Puri Dasa, was initiated by Srinath Pandita, who was a disciple of Sri Advaita Prabhu. Karnapura wrote many books that are important in Vaishnava literature, such as the Ananda Vrindavana Champu, Alankara Kaustubha, Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, and the great epic Chaitanya Chandrodaya Natak. He was born in the year 1448 Shakabda or AD 1526. He continually wrote books for 10 years from 1488 until 1498.
హరి బోల్. యా, మామె కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అయింది. గోపాల్ చెంపు కాదు, ఆనంద బృందావన్ చెంపు, రిటన్ బై కవి కర్ణాపుర అలాంగ్ విత్ అదర్ స్క్రిప్ట్ టెక్స్ట్. అలంకార కౌస్తుభ గౌర గణోదేశ దీపిక చైతన్య చంద్రోదయ నాటక. హరి బోల్.
How to understand this, Prabhuji? Like when he's hungry, kicking another devotee, దాన్ని ఎలా మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి? అంటే ఎవరు కూడా మన హంగర్ లో చూసాం అప్సెట్ అవ్వచ్చు, కానీ కిక్కింగ్ మనం చూడలేదు కదా. దాన్ని మిస్అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోకుండా ఎలా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి?
ఇది ప్రీవియస్ వర్స్ లో ఉందా? ఇది ఇంట్లో
ప్రీవియస్ వర్స్, లాస్ట్ టు లాస్ట్. On one side it is saying that their whole family is a sincere devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then why would Nityananda Prabhu actually kick him?
ఇది అదేంట్లోనా? Let me read one more time. Sri Shivananda Sena is established, has been described by Sena and Auragopal deities.
Control F చేయండి, kicking and కొడితే వస్తుంది.
Shivananda Sena returned and Sri Nityananda Prabhu saw him. The Lord kicked him severely, complaining that he was very hungry, and asked why he had not arranged for his food. Such is the behavior of the Lord with his devotees. Sri Nityananda Prabhu behaved like an ordinary hungry man, as if completely dependent on the arrangements of Shivananda Sena.
So here at the beginning of the paragraph, it says that once while going to Jagannath Puri, all the devotees had to stay underneath a tree. And they were hungry. So we can understand that, okay, he was angry because the devotees were hungry. But still I can't comprehend about the kicking part.
Shelter of his house. Very hungry. ఇక్కడ రాస్తున్నారు కదా, నిత్యానంద బిహేవ్ లైక్ అన్ ఆర్డినరీ హంగ్రీ మ్యాన్ యాజ్ ఇఫ్ హీ కంప్లీట్లీ డిపెండెంట్ ఆన్ అరేంజ్మెంట్స్ ఆఫ్ శివానంద సేన. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చెప్తున్నా, ఎ నెఫ్యూ శివానంద సేన నేమ్డ్ శ్రీకాంత్ లెఫ్ట్ ద కంపెనీ ఇన్ ఫుటేజ్ ఆఫ్ నిత్యానంద ప్రభు's curse went directly to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri, where the Lord pacified him. On that occasion, a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed his toe to be sucked by Purida. They're all very, very confidential. అంటే మన బివిల్డెడ్, మన మైండ్ స్పెక్యులేటివ్, మన కైండ్ ఆఫ్ మైండ్ అర్థం చేసుకోదు మాతాజీ. అన్నీ ఎట్లా అంటే
ఎవరైనా చదువుతుంటే మిస్అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసేసుకుంటారు కదా, మనం అంటే వీళ్ళు అండర్స్టాండ్ కి.
ఎస్ ఎస్ okay, seriously thought that sons being cursed with Nityananda. Certainly they would die. Wife crying said, he said, "We are crying, let us all die." When Shivananda Sena returned and Sri Nityananda saw him, నాకు కూడా కాంప్రహెండ్ చేయలేదు, నాకు కూడా అర్థం అవ్వట్లేదు మాత్రం. Anybody? Lalit Mohan Prabhu, would you like to add?
Yes, Prabhuji. That's why, Chaitanya Charitamrita is known as PhD. It's not normal graduation or something, like Bhagavad Gita, which can be understood by everyone. PhD means some things you should really research on those things. Only then you can understand. So, Charitamrita is PhD. It's not a normal book. And anyone with a normal mind, if he reads this, he cannot understand anything. This is guaranteed. So for this to read, you should have a proper base of Bhagavatam with you. And if you can understand the Lord's dealings with his devotees perfectly in Bhagavatam, then you can try to understand these dealings with Chaitanya Charitamrita. Why do you think in like our Jayapatak Swami Maharaj and Radhanath Maharaj, they are more into Chaitanya Charitamrita than Bhagavatam? To make this PhD reach to the common masses. That's what they are trying. And you cannot just try, what you say. Prabhuji, like if you have a very intimate relation with someone, will you give the same respect as you give to the people whom you don't know properly? No. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, very intimate dealings than the Bhagavatam. That's why it is known as PhD. And in a very intimate dealings, of course, you do some things which no one can comprehend even. Let me give you one small example. My brother, he is a brahmachari, he is a devotee. I know everything, all philosophy, everything I know. But he does some mischief. Even the brahmachari, I will scold him. What do you mean by this? Is this I am doing Vaishnava? Or in a mood that he should not do that, being an exemplary, in a society. What do you mean? How do you think it? Yeah, if you take it out of context that I have scolded him, that is a complete Vaishnava, no doubt in that. But if you really know me, and he knows, only someone, my mother and father know the relation between him and me. Then they can understand, they can comprehend what I have done. In the same way, Nityananda's very close associate is Shivananda Sena. They do some things which we cannot really understand. But if the same class we heard from, pure Vaishnavas like Jayapatak Swami Maharaj or, some other Maharajas, then you can really understand what Nityananda Prabhu was undergoing. The main thing is that actually Nityananda Prabhu wanted to show an example to the whole world that how you should serve devotees properly.
అది ఎక్కడ ఉంది అదే కదా.
So he can even pick his very close devotee. It doesn't matter. So that's how PhD studies are very completely different than our normal studies. We cannot comprehend, and we cannot take this context, this only particular sentence out of context, and how can we understand? No, that is a normal studies. First of all, let us understand that this is a PhD study, and there are many instances in Chaitanya Charitamrita where we cannot understand. At times how we can normal mind thinks is, why are these people doing like this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even if you study Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, kya kar raha hai? That's how you think. So that is the reason we should not go directly jump into that, jump into to understand the way it is, like the English transliterary meanings on this, rather than we should really go deep into this study. This is a PhD study actually. Pure devotees give some 5 or 6 hours of lecture on why Nityananda Prabhu struck him, Shivananda Sen. And they give all the previous exchanges of Nityananda Prabhu and Shivananda Sen, like 100 to 200 exchanges. And then they say why he hit him now. Is it okay, Prabhuji? I'm going beyond my limit. I'm sorry.
See, one more thing I want to add. See, when he has a very close relationship with Shivananda Sena, even though Lord, acted in that way, it doesn't matter. మన మనసుకు అర్థం కాదు అవి. ఎందుకంటే అఫ్ కోర్స్ ఇది హై టాపిక్. అంటే అంతా అన్ని సర్వీస్ బాగా చేస్తున్నారు కదా, అంతా బాగానే ఉంది కదా, వేరే వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాబ్లం అంటే ఇక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం ఎక్కడ? యాక్చువల్గా నిత్యానంద ప్రభు అంటే లార్డ్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్. బట్ ఎందుకు వచ్చింది కోపం? ఇవన్నీ లీలలు, యాక్చువల్గా డిఫరెంట్ లీలర్స్. ఎందుకు కోపం వచ్చింది? డివోటీస్ ని సరిగా టేక్ కేర్ చేయలేదు ప్రాపర్ గా. ఆల్ ద డివోటీస్ హ్యాడ్ టు స్టే అండర్నీత్ ఎ ట్రీ వితౌట్ షెల్టర్ ఆఫ్ హౌస్ ఆర్ ఈవెన్ షెడ్, బికాస్ డివోటీస్ డిస్కంఫర్ట్ ని బట్టి యాంగ్రీ వచ్చిందనమాట. సో కర్స్ చేశాడు. సో ఇదంతా హై యాక్చువల్గా హై టాపిక్స్ మాది. బట్ ఫర్ నౌ హౌ కెన్ వి సాటిస్ఫై విత్ దిస్? బికాస్ ఇంకా మనం అర్థం కావు కొన్ని, అన్ని మనకు అర్థమవుతాయి అసలు.
ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైంది ప్రభుజీ. అంటే when you have a very close relationship, then you can go like that, like Lalit Mohan Prabhu said, when it is like a brother, with brothers we can do anything, no, we can hit and we can do
బాగా క్లోజ్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు బాగా ఇంటిమేట్
ఎలా బిహేవ్ చేస్తున్నారు అన్నది యాక్చువల్లీ ఇట్ షోస్ మోర్ ఇంటిమసీ. ఇట్స్ నాట్ దట్ లైక్
దానికోసం కాదు. అంటే కోపం ఉన్నా అది
లాజికలీ థింక్ అబౌట్ ఇట్, అచ్చా ఇలా ఎందుకు చేశారు అన్నది మనం లాజికలీ మనం దాన్ని పెట్టలేము. ఉన్నది ఉన్నట్టుగా we just have to absorb it.
లాజికల్ ఎక్కడ లాజిక్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం అది అర్థం కావు. We cannot put our logic in that. We just have to, their intimate relationship, we have to understand. Even though Lord acted in that way, they are blissful. భగవంతుని నిత్యానంద ప్రభు లోటస్ ఫీట్ తగిలిందంటే ఇంకా రైట్, ఆ రకంగా వాళ్ళు అట్లా చూస్తారు. కానీ నేను ఎన్ని సర్వీసులు చేసినా మళ్ళీ ఏంది భగవంతుడు మెటీరియలిస్టిక్ అది ఉండదు మాత్రం. కంప్లీట్ ఇన్ సర్వీస్ అటిట్యూడ్, సర్వీస్ మోడ్ ఓన్లీ. ఈవెన్ దో లార్డ్ యాక్టెడ్ ఇన్ అట్లా అంటే భగవంతుడు భక్తులకి కదా కష్టాలు ఇచ్చేది, బట్ స్టిల్ దే రిమెంబర్ లార్డ్. అవన్నీ టెస్టింగ్స్, రైట్? సో మనకు మన మైండ్ అదే ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే మన మైండ్ ప్రాబ్లం అర్థం చేసుకోలేదు. అదే అంటారు ప్రభుపాదనే రాస్తారు, స్పెక్యులేటివ్ మైండ్తో ఇవన్నీ అర్థం కావు. అరే ఇట్లా కాకుండా అట్లా కాకుండా మనం ఏం చెప్తాం? మన మైండ్ మనం ఎంతవరకు మన మైండ్ కాంప్రహెండ్ చేసుకోగలుగుతాం? అదే వీ కెనాట్ కాంప్రహెండ్ అప్ టు సర్టెన్ పాయింట్. ఇది మనకు మెటీరియలిస్ట్గా అనిపిస్తారే, ఇంత సర్వే చేసినా ఇంత చేసినా still why Lord acted in that way because they have their own intimate relationship. You can act in any number of ways, right? So that's the thing. Of course it's a high topic, but still continuously we get to know. I mean, only Krishna only clarify our thoughts by reading these books. Why he has written, Prabhupada has written. Complete essence is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita after Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. But in the beginning stage, of course, that's where at least, we have to be in the process sometime to understand some core concepts of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. We can read. Yeah. See, why he has written? In order to read, understand how these exchanges between devotee and his Supreme Lord and his devotees. Right? So, Adimata, so that's okay. Mana mind bewilderation, Krishna, please clarify. Somehow my materialist mind is thinking in that way to give good understanding. Right, Mother? Okay. Yeah. So 10.63, no? Yes. But అట్లా అంటే ఈ చైతన్య చరిత్రలో ఎన్నో టాపిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అట్లా అంటే భాగవతంలో ఎన్నో వర్సెస్ ఇన్ రిఫరెన్స్ టు డిఫరెంట్ టాపిక్స్ ప్రభుపాద కనెక్ట్ చేసి రాస్తాడు. సో ఈవెన్ దో పిహెచ్డి మనకు ఒకరే పిహెచ్డి అంటే ఇట్స్ రీసెర్చ్, లైఫ్ లాంగ్ రీసెర్చ్. యాక్చువల్గా ఈ బుక్స్ అన్ని పదే పదే చదివితే కానీ అర్థం కావు. మన భగవద్గీత అయినా, భాగవతం అయినా, చైతన్య చరితామృత అయినా, ఇది ఒకరోజు ఒకసారి మొత్తం కంప్లీట్ చేసిన డన్ అంతా అయిపోయింది పక్క పెట్టడం కాదు. పదే పదే ఒక శ్లోకం ఏదో ఉంటుంది యాక్చువల్గా. రిపీటెడ్లీ వీ హావ్ టు రీడ్ అండ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ అండ్ అండ్ ఇది చాలాసార్లు విన్నా నేను యాక్చువల్గా. ఈ వైష్ణవాచార్యులు ప్రతిసారి చదివినప్పుడు ప్రతి ఒక్క కొత్త ఫీలింగ్ వస్తుందంట. దే గెట్ సమ్ న్యూ ఫ్రెష్ ఫీలింగ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ టాపిక్స్ ఆర్ ఎటర్నల్. చైతన్య చరితామృత is eternal topics. Supreme Lord appeared 500 years back in the Bengal, that province of the land, but still it applicable for entire universe because he has shown the path. He has given this path of Krishna Prema, right? Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. ఇవన్నీ ఒక రోజులో అర్థం కావు. మరి ఇది పదే పదే చదువుతుండాలి. అప్పుడు మనకి ఓన్లీ విత్ కృష్ణాస్ మర్సీ ఓన్లీ, విత్ గురుస్ మర్సీ ఓన్లీ we contemplate in proper way, but still we are in the material modes, the material plane, always bewildering. Right? Enduku anpistadi. We have to put ourselves faith in the scripture and faith in the acharya's instructions and their their purports. Then one day we will get to understand. Still we are in the neophyte stage, right? కనిష్టాధికారి, మధ్యమాధికారి, ఉత్తమాధికారి. ఉత్తమాధికారి ఎట్లా ఆలోచిస్తారు ఇప్పుడు? అది అంటే ఇప్పుడు జస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఈ ఎక్స్చేంజ్డ్ యాంగర్ ఇది రైట్ వే ఆఫ్ యూజింగ్ యాంగర్, రైట్ వే ఆఫ్ యూజింగ్ వై ఇట్ డజంట్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ద డివోటీస్ వైల్ గోయింగ్ త్రూ జగన్నాథ్ పురి. అట్లా ఉంటుంది మాత్రది. ఇట్ టేక్స్ టైమ్, బట్ ఇట్స్ ఓకే, లెట్ us read, no worries. Only Krishna's mercy and Prabhupada mercy we can understand by repeatedly reading. Yeah. Yes. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Vallabha Sena and Sri Kanta Sena were also sub-branches of Sivananda Sena. For they were not only his nephews but also unallied devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Purport: when Lord Nityananda Prabhu rebuked Shivananda Sena on way to Puri, these two nephews of Shivananda left the company as a protest and went to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Jagannath Puri. The Lord could understand the feelings of the boys, and he asked his personal assistant Govinda to supply them prashadam until the party of Sivananda arrived. During the Ratha Yatra Sankirtana festival, these two brothers were members of the party led by Mukunda. In the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika 174, it is said that the Gopi, whose name was Katyayani, appeared as Srikanta Sena. Yeah. Let us read some more verses. I see. Okay, Akinjan Prabhu, want to read?
Yes, brother. Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Govindananda and Govinda Datta, the 25th and 26th branches of the tree, were performers of Kirtana in the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Govinda Datta was the principal singer in the Lord Chaitanya's Kirtan party. But Govinda Datta appeared in the village of Sukaracharya near Khadadaha,
Sukacharya, Khadadaha, different places. Read this one, Prabhu.
Sri Vijayadasa, the 27th branch, another of the Lord's chief singers, gave the Lord many books written by hand. Formerly, there were no printing presses or printed books. All the books were handwritten. Precious books were kept in manuscripts form in the temple or other important places, and anyone who was interested in the book had to copy it by hand. Vijayadasa was the professional writer who copied many manuscripts and gave them to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Vijayadasa the name Ratna Bhav, a jewel-handed, because he copied many manuscripts for him. The 28th branch was Krishnadasa, who was very dear to the Lord. He was known as Akinchana Krishnadasa. Akinchana means one who possesses nothing in this world.
And you got the name of Akinchan, Priya Prabhu. Hari Bol. One who possesses nothing in this world. Everything, whatever you get, Krishna Bhakti, nothing in this world. Nothing in this world means you got Krishna Bhakti. Yes.
Again, the 29th branch was Sridhara, a trader
Yes.
in a banana tree bark. He was very dear servant of the Lord. On the many occasions, the Lord played jokes on him. Sridhara was the poor Brahmin who was living by selling the banana tree bark to be made into cups. Most probably, he had a banana tree garden and collected the leaves, skins, and pulp of the banana trees to sell daily in the market. He spent 50% of his income to worship the Ganges, and the balance he used to subsist for his subsistence. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his civil disobedience movement in defiance of the Ghazi, Sridhara danced in jubilation. The Lord used to drink water from his water jug. Sridhara presented a squash to Sachidevi to cook before the Lord Chaitanya took sannyasa. Every year he went to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. According to Kavi Kankapura, Sridhara was a cowherd boy of Vrindavan whose name as Kusumasava. In this Gaura Ganodasa Dipika, Gaura Ganodasa Dipika, it is stated Kula Vechetaya Khate Pandita Sridharo Dvija Asiddha Vraja Hasya Karo O Namana Kusamavaha. The covered boy known as Kusuma Vasa is Krishna Lila later in the Krishna Lila later became Kulvecha Sridhar during the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Lila at Navadvipa. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Nice.
Krishna. Yeah.
To understand about Kulvecha Sridhar.
Yes. Yeah. Let us stop here. Okay. So let us stop here. ప్రభు మనం రెగ్యులర్ గా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయబోతే ఇవన్నీ ట్యూన్లు వేయటట్టున్నాయి ప్రభు నాకు తెలిసి ఇప్పుడు వరకు నేర్చుకున్న 3-4 ఉన్నాయి కదా 1 2 3 4 we have to repeatedly practice I think ఇదొకటి
Yes, Prabhu, we will start third one also today.
ఏం ప్రభు
ఇవాళ థర్డ్ కూడా స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. We will start third one also, third tune also. Okay.
ఇదా
Yeah, this one. So shall I start? Is it okay with everyone, or shall we repeat what earlier we have read? What do you people say?
యా ఫస్ట్ మీరు చదివేసేయండి ప్రభు మొత్తం చదివి శ్లోకం చదివి సినానిమ్స్ ట్రాన్స్లేషన్ కూడా చదవండి దెన్ విల్ ప్రాక్టీస్.
Okay. So, okay. Yes. Synonyms we'll read first. Only Sanskrit words, then with meanings, and then we'll go to the shloka once, and then we'll wind it off today. Tomorrow again we'll practice. We'll start from there. Today I'll just give a glimpse. Okay. And then tomorrow we'll start properly. Shri Gopya Uchuhu.
Shri
Annara.
Uchu.
Shri Gopya Uchuhu.
Shri Gopya Uchu.
Shri Gopya Uchuhu.
Shri Gopya Uchu.
Akshan Batam.
Akshan Vatam.
Akshan Batam.
Akshan
Akshan
Vatam.
Phalam.
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 Idam.
Idam.
Param.
Param.
Na.
No. Vadam.
I forgot that. Na.
Vidamaha.
Param.
Param.
Vidamaha.
Vidamaha. Sakhyaha.
Sakhya.
Sakhyaha. Sakhyaha. Sakhyaha.
Sakhyaha.
Sakya.
Sakhyaha.
Sakhyaha.
Sakhyaha. Sakhyaha. Sakhyaha.
Pashu.
Pashu.
Pashun. Pashun.
Pashun.
Pashun.
Pashun.
Pashun.
Anuviveshayataha.
Anuviveshayato.
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 Anuvisheshayatu.
Anuviveshayato.
Anuviveshayato.
Vayasyai.
Vayasyaihi. Vayasyaihi.
Vayasyai.
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 Vaktram.
Vaktram.
Tram.
Vaktram.
Vaktram. Vaktram.
Vaktram.
Vaktram.
Brajesha.
Vrajesha.
Brajesha.
Vrajesha.
Sutayo.
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 Anuvenu Jushtam.
Anuvenu justam.
Venujustam.
Anuvenu Jushtam.
Anuvenu justam.
Anuvenu Jushtam.
Anuvenujustam.
Yair.
Yai.
Yair.
Yai.
This Yair will become Yair when we read it in the shloka. Okay? Yair.
Yair. Yair.
Va.
Va.
Nipitam.
Nimitam.
Nipitam.
Nipitam.
Anurakta.
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 Anurakta. Anurakta.
Kataksha.
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 Moksham.
Moksham.
Okay. So I'll just read the meanings once. Okay. Then we'll go to shloka. Shri Gopya Uchuhu. Shri Gopya Uchuhu. The gopi said, Akshanvatam, of those who have eyes, phalam, the fruit, idam, this, not, param, other, vidhama, we know, sakyaha, O friends, pashun, the cows, anuviveshayata, causing to enter one forest after another, vayasyai, with their friends of the same age, Vaktram, the faces, Vraja Isha of Maharaj Nanda, Sutayo of the two sons, Anuvenu Jushtam, possessed by flutes, Yai by which, Va or Nipitam, imbibed, Anurakta, loving, Kataksha, glances, Moksham, giving off. Translation. The cowherd girl said, "Oh friends, those eyes that see the beautiful faces of the sons of Maharaj Nanda are certainly fortunate. As these two sons enter the forest, surrounded by their friends, driving the cows before them, they hold their flutes to their mouths and glance lovingly upon the residents of Vrindavana. For those who have eyes, we think there is no greater object of vision." Actually, very deep sloka it is. It is said that whenever we are inclined to see some bad things, actually we should see the form of Krishna and remember these slokas. How Krishna enters Vrindavan, the mood with which he enters, and how he glances upon different devotees. So that is how this sloka says. Of course, we are not going to that lecture on this sloka, but we will just repeat how this sloka, the new tune with this sloka. Okay. Shall we read? Please repeat after me, line after line. I will go every line 3 times.
First, first చేయండి bro మొత్తం.
Yeah, okay. I will do the whole shloka once or twice, and then one line 3 times. Okay. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayator vayasyai Vaktram rajesha sutayor anavenu jushtam yairva nipita manurakta katakshamoksham. I'll just do one more time. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayator vayasyai Vaktram rajesha sutayor anavenu jushtam Yairva nipita manurakta katakshamoksham.
This is so difficult, Prabhu.
Huh?
Chala kastanga undi idi.
No, Prabhuji, first time you are listening, na? After 1 week, you will not say this.
Hare Krishna.
We'll go line by line, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we have this lifetime with us, Prabhuji.
ఫస్ట్ మీరే నేర్చుకోవాలి. కించం ప్రభు.
We have this whole lifetime with us, Prabhuji.
కష్టం అనుకున్నదే ఇష్టంగా చేసేసేయాలి, అప్పుడు ఈజీ అయిపోతుంది. ఫస్ట్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు నంబర్ లైన్ ఉన్నది మీరే ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ గా.
No, I'll do it, Prabhuji. Don't let that happen. I'll do it. Because, Prabhuji, like this shloka should start very slowly. Like first 2 words, like Akshanvatam phalamidam, we should not stress more. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama. ఇలా కింద నుంచి పైకి వెళ్ళాలన్నమాట. మనం ఫస్ట్ అక్షన్వతాం ఫలమిదం, if we start like that, we will not get it. Okay. First and third lines, first 2 words should be very slow in voice. Then we should increase the pitch. Okay. Is it okay with everyone?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
I will do it 3 times. You also repeat after me 3 times, everyone. Okay. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama.
Akshanvatam phalam idam na param vidhama.
Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama.
Akshanvatam phalam idam na param vidhama.
Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama.
Akshamvatam
అక్షన్వతం ఫలమిదం న ఫలం విధామః.
Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama.
Akshanvatam phalam idam
న
param
ఫలం
vidhama.
విధామః.
Sakhya pashunanu viveshayatorbhayasya.
Sakya
సఖ్యై పశూన్ పలేయండి.
Last two words కష్టంగా ఉంది బ్రో. మళ్ళీ ఒకసారి
Anu viveshayatorbhayasya.
వయస్యై అనువేశయతో అనువేశయతో వయస్యై.
Sakhya pashunanu viveshayatorbhayasya.
సఖ్య పశూన్ అనువివేశయతోర్వయస్యై.
Sakhya pashunanu viveshayatorbhayasya.
సఖ్య పశూన్ అనువివేశయతోర్వయస్యై.
No, Prabhuji, you're not getting this people this. Sakhya pashunanu viveshayatorbhayasya.
సఖ్య పశూన్ అనువివేశయతోర్వయస్యై.
Anu vive के बाद take rest. Shayatorvayasya. Okay, I'll just repeat again 2 times. Sakhya pashun anu vive shayatorvayasya.
సఖ్య పశూన్ అనువివేశయతోర్వయస్యై.
Yes. Sakhya pashun anu vive shayatorvayasya.
సఖ్య పశూన్ అనువివేశయతోర్వయస్యై.
Why Mataji are so silent today?
ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ చేస్తే వింటున్నారు, ఆఫ్టర్ తర్వాత చేస్తారు. చేయండి.
They will do once. At once they will do.
అబ్జార్ప్షన్, జస్ట్ ఇన్ అబ్జార్ప్షన్ మోడ్, జస్ట్ లెట్ ఇట్.
Okay. Vaktram rajesha sutayoranavenu jushtam.
వక్త్రం రజేష సుతయోర్ అన్వేనుజుష్టం.
Vaktram rajesha sutayoranavenu jushtam.
వక్త్రం రజేష సుతయోర్ అనవేనుజుష్టం.
Vaktram rajesha sutayoranavenu jushtam.
వక్త్రం
రజేష సుతయోర్
అనవేనుజుష్టం.
Vaktram rajesha sutayoranavenu jushtam.
వక్త్రం రజేష
సుతయోర్ అనవేనుజుష్టం.
Yairva nipitamanuraktakataksham.
యైర్వానిపీతమనురక్తకటాక్షమోక్షం.
Yairva nipitamanuraktakataksham.
యైర్వానిపీతమనురక్తకటాక్షమోక్షం.
Yairva nipitamanuraktakataksham.
యైర్వానిపీతమనురక్తకటాక్షమోక్షం.
Yairva nipitamanuraktakataksham.
యైర్వానిపీతమనురక్తకటాక్షమోక్షం.
Now, first 2 lines together. Okay.
Yeah.
Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama.
చేయండి ఇద్దరు.
Sakhya pashunanu viveshayatorbhayasya.
అక్షన్వతాం ఫలం ఇదం న పరం విధామా. సాఖ్యా పతున్ అనువేశయోర్వయస్యై. వయస్యై.
No,
పరం విధామః.
I'll do it. No, I'll do it. Let me do it 3 times, and then even if you don't do it today, it's okay. But it will take a lot of time. This shloka is completely different tune. Okay. This tune is of like that, and sloka is also a bit tongue twister. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayatur vayasyai. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayatur vayasyai. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayatur vayasyai. Now please go ahead, anyone.
Yeah, let me do, Prabhu. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidamaha sakhya pashun anuviveshayator vayasyaihi. Sakhya pashun anuviveshayator vayasyaihi.
Very well.
Very well. Mother is trying. Mother. Lavanya, would you like to try?
The difficulty of tongue twister is getting higher and higher.
Samyukta, try. Tongue twister and అట్లాంటి ఎట్లా అవుతుంది మీరే సింగర్ అంటే మీరు ఇట్లాంటివే కదా మీరు మీకు బయట హిట్స్ యూట్యూబ్ లో హిట్స్ రావాలంటే ఇట్లాంటివే చేయాలి అవుతుంది.
చౌరాష్ట్రగా మా సూచించేశారు మాతాజీ.
సో చేసి వస్తుంది, చేయండి మొత్తం. లేదంటే
అక్షన్వతాం ఫలమిదం న పరం విదామః సాఖ్య పశున్ అనువ్యవసాయతోర్ వయస్యై. మొత్తం టోన్ మార్చేసింది.
వయస్యై
లేదు, ఇంకా రాలేదు ప్రభు. యూనో ఇట్ విల్ టేక్ 2 weeks.
న పరం విదామః సఖ్యా పశూన్ అనువివేశయతోర్ వయస్యై. గొంతు పోయింది, సారీ.
Second line, Mataji. Second line, you are being very fast. Oh, Mataji and Prabhuji, please don't think that I am laughing. Means I am demeaning you. It's not like that. My nature is like that. I laugh. I'm sorry.
I'm not thinking
anything. That is how my basements also laughed at us, and we also laughed at them. Only with a friendly tune, I'm just laughing. Don't think in other way around. Okay. Yeah, but this tone we will practice for 1 or 2 weeks together. Only then we will get. Okay. Now mundu illeke inka koncham kashtamga untadi.
Idam na param vidhama sakhya pasum anuviveshayato vayasyai. Ask customer.
Yeah. Prabhuji, now what we do, I'll do it 3 times again and we will sign it off today. Tomorrow we will again catch it up from first. Okay?
Okay.
Is it okay with everyone?
Yes, Prabhu. It's your turn.
చూడండి ప్రభుజీ, ఈ శ్లోకం మొత్తం మనం వచ్చేసరికి చాలా మంది డివోటీస్ ఏం చేస్తారంటే ఈ శ్లోకాన్ని, అదే ఈ ట్యూన్ పైకి తీసుకెళ్ళిపోతారు. మనం ఫస్ట్ శృత్వా గుణానికి వెళ్ళిపోతాం కదా, దీన్ని దాంతో దీంతో చేసేస్తారు తర్వాత. అట్లా కూడా జరుగుతాయి చాలా అర్థమైన తర్వాత. బట్ we will focus on this. We have a lifetime actually. This is what our counselor used to tell us. We have a lifetime. We will do it. No issues. No worries. Okay, now I'll do it 3 times. So, Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayator vayasyai. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayator vayasyai. Akshanvatam phalamidam na param vidhama sakhya pashunanu viveshayator vayasyai. Okay, we will stop it here. Giriraj Prabhu, if you wanted to add something, or if you can
add ఆ రెండు లైన్ చేయరా ప్రభు? వక్త్రం రజేశ చేయరా?
Yeah, I will send that recording also, Prabhuji. But I will do it twice this also. वक्त्रं व्रजेशसुतयोरनवेनुजुष्टम् यैर्वानिपीतमनुरक्तकटाक्षमोक्षम् वक्त्रं व्रजेशसुतयोरन्वेनुजुष्टम् यैर्वानिपीतमनुरक्तकटाक्षमोक्षम् वक्त्रं व्रजेशसुतयोरन्वेनुजुष्टम् यैर्वानिपीतमनुरक्तकटाक्षमोक्षम्. Literally, let me tell you, of all this shloka, the only word which I can do it properly during my initial days is kataksha moksham. Moksham prasadam jnana bas. Only that words we know. Everything is new to us. It will be very tough, this shloka, but let us try. We have time. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Yeah. Let us continue tomorrow. Sure, Prabhu. Send చేయండి అది లింక్ సెండ్ చేయండి.
Ji Prabhu, I will just send the tune or recording. Okay.
See, ఇప్పుడు 1 2 3 4 5 మనము నేర్చుకునేవన్నీ మళ్ళీ ప్రతిసారి ఫ్రైడేనో థర్స్డేనో వారానికి 2 times అవన్నీ కూడా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయాలి ప్రభు. లేకపోతే అన్ని
ప్రభు ఏం చేద్దామంటే టుడే ఇస్ ఏ న్యూ శ్లోక డే. సో వి విల్ కీప్ దోస్ థింగ్స్ అసైడ్. ఎందుకంటే న్యూ శ్లోక డే అంటే 25 minutes దీనికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఆ ట్యూన్ అసలు ఏంటని అర్థం చేసుకోవడానికి వెళ్తుంది మనుషులకి. Other than this, tomorrow we will start those 4 and then we will start again. We will continue from this. Okay.
Yeah, ఎందుకంటే మర్చిపోతాం.
Yeah. From tomorrow we will do that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpalubhyascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nidai Gaur Hari Premanande Hari Hari. Thank you very much. See you all tomorrow. Pranam.